Good afternoon. Thank you to Greylock Together for hosting this forum and everyone else who's participating in it for facing the issues that are before our town. My name is Roger Lawrence, and I was raised in Williamstown. We are in a housing crisis. Our current approaches have provided some relief, but are at their core unimaginative and expensive. If we attempt to address them through zoning changes unwisely, we risk damaging our town without fixing the problem. We saw this in the failure of the Planning Board's 2018 residential zone rewrite. In the League of Women Voters Candidate Forum, which will be broadcast on Tuesday or Wednesday, I spoke to the causes. Now I want to talk about the solutions. Of our 5 excellent questions, this answers the first directly and tangentially the next 2. My answers to the last 2 are contained also in the League of Women Voters Forum, if you are interested. To introduce this fresh thinking about solutions is going to take my full 10 minutes, so I'll have to move right along. Please come with me. I am a member of Greylock Together, partly because of Greylock Together's commitment to protecting and advancing vulnerable populations. We embrace standards of inclusiveness and diversity to help marginalized and forgotten people to find equal opportunity for a fair stake in life, to have some of the things we ourselves have. It's easy for me to embrace these standards because I was raised with them from an early age in the home of 2 college professors. I chose a different life for myself, architecture and building, but those core values remain and drive me now. Today, I would like to invite you to re-examine these standards of inclusiveness and diversity, to include a more diverse interpretation, and open your hearts to a forgotten people in need. I am talking about the moderate and lower income homeowners of our own town. As we speak, for these of our own people, Williamstown is fast becoming an exclusive place. This is a pressing need. Almost nobody is talking about it, and we must help. I'm talking about the entry-level school teacher who serves our young. I'm talking about the chef or waitress who serves our dinner, the fireman who guards our homes, the hospice worker who holds the hand of our parents when we cannot be there or when they are leaving this world. They yearn for the same pride of place, the same sense of belonging that the rest of us do. With imagination, we can help them to earn it for themselves. 10 years ago, we lost a big piece of our town. The spruces flooded, damaging many of the dwellings there. In exchange for effectively condemning the property, we took $6 million from the Federal Emergency Management Agency, and 335 of our own people lost their homes. We promised to replace them, but we never did. 10 years later, fewer than 10 of them live in Williamstown. Over that same period, Williams College has expanded, torn down whole neighborhoods, and the second homes market has brought floods of cash from out-of-town buyers that has bid housing prices up out of the reach of our working families. We have implemented several successful developer-driven multi-unit housing projects to provide affordable rental housing for some, but at the cost of draining public financing in the form of perpetual subsidies. A huge piece is missing: owner-occupied, owner-financed homes that contribute to the tax base, encourage a stable population, that builds strong neighborhoods, strong relationships, and provides pride of place. Here are 3 new approaches to affordable home ownership that have worked in other towns and enabled people with limited incomes to buy or retain ownership in an inflationary market that threatens to price them out of their homes. We have not explored these ideas. If I am elected to the Planning Board on May 11th, we will. Number 1, ADU incentivized with property tax abatement. We can provide a fixed property tax credit for a home buyer for, say, 5 years, with the proviso that the savings goes towards construction of a rental accessory dwelling unit. If your property tax is $5,000, for example, per year, that would reduce the upfront cost of putting in a rental ADU by $25,000 and making it easier to build. At the end of 5 years, your tax would increase because of the enhanced assessment, but the higher tax would be affordable because the property itself would be producing the income to pay for it. In a few years, the town would get its money back and thereafter be ahead of the game. Your homeowner would be more economically secure and a rental unit would be created, helping to relieve housing pressure without materially changing the character of our beautiful town. That's a win-win-win situation. I suggested this to the planning board 2 years ago in open session, but the board was not interested. A board member told me at that open meeting, and I quote, "I don't care about owner-occupied housing." That was a defining moment for me. As a result, now I want to sit on that board and bring that missing interest to it. Number two, housing buy down. For years on Cape Cod, residents have faced pressures much like what is happening here, with high summer tourist rental rates. The housing buy down program is financed there through a town's affordable housing trust and community preservation fund, two municipal agencies that also operate in Williamstown. It provides a roughly 50% down payment on a qualifying home for an income qualifying buyer that bridges the gap between market rate and affordability. The home then carries a deed restriction that keeps it affordable in perpetuity without further subsidy whenever there is a change of ownership, but allows for a modest yearly increase in value. An affordable housing unit is created without materially changing the character of our town. The eternally subsidized units currently under construction at the north end of Cole Avenue cost more than $340,000 to construct each, exclusive of the land. We can beat that. Number three, owner-occupied subdivision. The previous two initiatives involve single homes. This one accommodates hundreds. The model comes to us from Aspen, Colorado, which was discovered by the ultra-rich decades ago, driving its real estate prices through the roof for everyone else. With at least 6 billionaires in Williamstown now, we are headed in the same direction. High housing costs pushed working people out of Aspen, and they settled in an affordable mobile home park of 150 lots sitting on 15 acres called Aspen Village in the neighboring hamlet of Woody Creek. In 1995, the property owner decided to sell. An enterprising resident, who was also a Pitkin County deputy sheriff, organized the residents into a homeowners association, and they bought the property themselves with a bridge loan from a local credit union for $4.2 million. Does that sound like the Spruces to you? They got subdivision approval from the governing body, which in Colorado is the county. Depending on size, the lots with the existing dwellings on them cost the residents between $25,000 and $40,000 apiece. For the price of a new car, they became proud homeowners. No one could ever raise their rent or terminate their lease again. With the money they saved by this highly economical model, they built a community center, swimming pool, ball fields, and tennis courts. They did the whole thing themselves. Today, 25 years later, Aspen Village no longer resembles a mobile home park. The trailers have long since been enclosed or replaced with stick-built homes. It is a dense village of small homes, each with a well-kept yard and 2 parking spaces, home to teachers, firemen, cooks, utility workers, and one very determined and resourceful lady cop. The community covenant requires that all homeowners who buy in be employed within Pitkin County at least 1,500 hours per year, and that they may purchase only one lot. They may retire in place without losing their status. This guarantees that the homes will not be scooped up by speculators, but may appreciate at market rate for the property owners. It is a living, vital community of working people with home security and pride of place. And they did it without taking a penny of subsidy from anyone. What do you think about Sweetbrook? These 3 models are flexible. They serve all racial groups, faiths, and orientations equally. Their terms can be adapted to different types of communities with differing priorities. With open minds, we can find other models as well. As I said in my candidate profile, there are probably no single silver bullets to solve this problem. But by making good use of a variety of strategies that work in tandem, I know we can keep our beautiful town and its good people while welcoming new arrivals with limited means. And that will safeguard the diversity of our community. And for those who don't know, Sweet Brook is located at 1561 Cold Spring Road. It is an empty 189-bed former continuing care facility connected to the town sanitary system and electrical grid. It sits on 14 plus acres and is currently for sale for $1.9 million. Williamstown, we can do this. I don't know if I have time remaining.
You have 1 minute remaining, I believe. We actually didn't get any questions for you, I think, because you announced that you're going to take your full time. Although if there's anything else additionally you wanted to say, you're more than welcome to say it.
You know, here in Williamstown, things are changing rapidly. We need to be flexible with the changing times. We need to adapt to them. We need to understand that the economic demographics of our town are changing. We need to be able to welcome new arrivals, and we need to be able to value the people we have. Williamstown has something that no other place I've ever been has. Our challenge is to embrace the changes that are coming, but retain the best qualities of our town. I think that's a planning issue. I would like to sit on the planning board. I think at present, there's room for more vision and more new thinking. I've laid out a little bit of it today, but I'd like to push that farther. So to everyone, I hope you've listened carefully to the different candidates who've been kind enough to come here today. Listen to what they said, assess what they mean, look at their records, and make a choice about the direction we want our town to go into. I think the most important thing is for everyone to participate and for everyone to vote on May 11th.